Welcome back to What the Social Media. I don't like to swear. I don't want to get my channel banned, but there's so much going on. It's been a crazy week. Every week in social media, I feel like it's another marathon or another college where I got to go study up what's going on to make sure I'm ahead of things for my clients and myself as a creator. So if you don't know who I am, Kip Russell. I lead an agency's social media team. I'm also a creator myself with nearly 1 million followers. Live and breathe this stuff, and I'm just paying attention and sharing all the information I can with you guys about what's going on. So we got to talk about the two major announcements that Facebook just had this week for e-commerce brands specifically. They announced two things. One, about user-generated content for shops is now going to be available on Instagram. So users that are already tagging your brand in their social media posts, typically back in the day, social media managers are going to love this, basically would have to reach out, get permission, source that UGC through screenshots or whatever, organize it into a catalog, and then they would use it within their advertisements or their organic social. Now, if someone's tagging you on Instagram, you can prompt them for permission, and then it's going to automatically add this product to your shop. I can get more specific with it, but it's a great thing for advertisers. It's a great thing to have in your shop, in your shopping ads, where you can just automatically add this UGC that brings it to life, that gives you good creative, and then you can do sort of the facilitation and get approval processes directly through Instagram. This is an amazing article. I'm going to link it below. Huge shift. This also comes with the major announcement. I'm going to just pull this up here that Facebook is now requiring checkout, which is basically in-app purchasing. So when you open, a shopping ad, you can actually purchase in Facebook and Instagram. It's going to be making all new shops basically have this feature in, I think, 2023. Yes, starting June 5th, 2023. And then in April 2024, enable checkout with all your e-commerce brands are going to be affected by this. And the reason for this is because you can thank Apple for the iOS 14 update. Basically now when people click on ads and go to the website, right, you're losing all that data. People opt out of all the privacy issues. And it's really hurt Facebook in telling the story that it's a lower funnel phenomenon that it is. It's really harder to tell that. There's all sorts of attribution tools like Northbeam and Triple Whale and Hyros coming out. Billion-dollar industry now that wasn't there 2 or 3 years ago because attribution and data were so good in Facebook and Google and all that stuff. The networks were playing nicer together. Now as cookies go away in Google, it's probably going to see something very similar. I think they already have Shop where you can purchase pretty quick. I don't know if it's direct, but you're getting there with Google, right? So now basically as April 2024, you're going to have checkout enabled on Facebook and Instagram shops, so you can purchase directly in app. And now this can seamlessly give you better data, right? So you can click on an ad, purchase in Facebook. I don't think Facebook's actually taking any money initially, and then basically go right to the consumer and tie into your CRM and all that good stuff. This is going to require a lot of updating of shops and feeds and products. And I haven't dove into all the specifics of this, but these are two very massive shifts in the e-com landscape. I think a very positive one. I think I made a video on this years ago that everything's going to have to be an app, especially with the new data privacies and Apple now playing nice in the sandbox so that they couldn't make a good bridge between the apps and websites. It's now going to go all in Facebook. So I can see this being every major social network's going to have a version of this. And Facebook's just obviously first to the game. They're the most mature. I would see TikTok probably being right around this. They already have like live shopping, I think, in their TikTok Live. There's some aspect of shopping in there. I know in China and overseas, this is pretty standard. You purchase and do all that stuff and check out right away. Twitter is going to be definitely right behind this. And we have another big couple of Twitter updates in this video. So be on the lookout. Again, being able to add UGC to your ads directly from a consumer's tagging. I think this in a shop, another version of this will actually, as people post products from your feed, you can actually add tags to that UGC as well. So it's going to get really crazy. It's going to be all interconnected as long as users stay on Facebook and Instagram, and that all will go to creator monetization. Maybe this enables smaller and other creators to monetize as they post products and have tags on the product for your brand. If users click on those tags within their creator content and then go and purchase, you get some already Amazon-ish type affiliate deal, and you can be part of the conglomerate. This is really getting interesting. It's like the ecosystem through the internet is all becoming a version of like affiliate. You already make tons of money as an Amazon affiliate, things like that. But it's getting wild, major shift. I'm excited for it because obviously as a media buyer, social media expert, a big issue, and I feel like it's at the tail end of it's the hardest to do, is prove the effectiveness of Facebook in that sort of purchase journey, lower funnel. So again, two major updates. The other thing to be paying attention to in space is Triple Whale, Hyros, Northbeam, products like that. I know there's more. I think Adobe just mixed announced one that better ways to show attribution and show how the channels are working better for you so you can understand scale, and also the role of the channel in your purchase, your digital funnels or consumer journeys. As we all know, journeys aren't necessarily as linear, as direct as funnels, but staying top of mind with consumers, driving them to the site when they're ready to purchase. So a lot going on, pretty awesome seismic shift in Facebook. And I like the idea of putting a deadline on it so you make people make the shift so that all of a sudden you see this in-app purchases, which could quickly make Meta and Facebook ads much more effective. So I will be pushing my team and clients to jump on this, and you should be too. Creators, are you ready to make game-changing money? You need to be paying attention to these few things on Facebook and TikTok. What they're starting to roll out, and they did this last year, was TikTok rolled out missions, and now they're rolling out something called the UGC program that pays creators to make user-generated content for brands. What I would be challenging you for, if there's a brand out there right now that you love, just start making TikToks and Reels about them. I did this for years about Red Lobster, and they reached out to me for a brand when it came because they were looking for creators that they wanted to. But now, this missions and all sorts of UGC programs are going to be about people that make really good creative about, in general, we're going to be tapped to make this for brands, and then according to TikTok, making up to $30,000-$40,000 a month just to make UGC. So you need to be paying attention to this. Another major rollout that happened was the ability to get tagged in UGC and get direct requests from brands on Meta for user-generated content. So if you are a natural creator or someone who's been posting about a brand and tagging a brand, now brands can directly reach out to you to approve that user-generated content and then get it added into the ecosystem of their ad space. While immediately this doesn't mean anything other than just giving approval, but what it could mean long-term is that you get affiliate or creator deals built into this where you're getting some sort of revenue. And this is the way that all of this is going. As the platforms need to incentivize people like us, or the 10 to 15% of the creators on the channel that make content, they need to give them more ways to make a living so that they can scale out. YouTube's already done this really well, and now you're seeing all of these major platforms go crazy about monetization. So be paying attention to it. My biggest piece of advice is to start seeding brands that you like already so that you can get potential deals. Maybe they find your old creative and get permission moving forward to use it and add things. But be on the lookout. If you're already in these creator funds on all the networks, start to look for the betas and the access to things. Maybe reach out to reps that you know to see if you can get early in these UGC. That's what I'm going to be doing. See any of the reps I know can get me into these betas or alphas as they're rolling them out so you can start to make some game-changing money. One thing I do know I have made crazy money is in TikTok missions. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically an opt-in form where you create UGC for a brand, and I think I've made the most money on ever brand deals to do that. So lots of good advice here. If you want to know more of this, I am launching a new free PDF, basically of all the amazing ways you can get paid as a creator or a UGC content creator. So link below to get on the early VIP list later. So this is major creator news too. Amazon is officially rolling out its TikTok-like inspired shopping feed is now available to all customers in the US. And I think this is just a bigger moment in the total ecosystem for creators and also for social media. Think about this: if you can just create content for Amazon and make a full-time living getting referrals as a creator, this could be a game-changing opportunity in terms of revenue. I know people are already making money doing Amazon reviews and things like that and affiliate deals through the platform, but if you can actually just make content for a full-time living through Amazon and get paid through Inspire, this could be one, pulling people again off of other social networks. And I think this is just a bigger shift going on in general, where creators and short form video are driving the way that we consume content. We feel like we're informed, we click on things, we purchase in the moment. And if this doesn't say that TikTok and Reels are important to brands, you're already missing the huge wave that's going on, as this becomes the primary place, the primary way to talk to consumers right now. Thinking about the even bigger shift of this is why can't Amazon, as they grow this and maybe potentially get this as a lot of user attention, why can't they continue to expand on this where people are making creative for their own shows and leading to long form content and promoting all their long form series of shows instead of going to TikTok and other places? Well, they still have to do that in the short term. Apple and all these other places can get more creators doing short form video, different types of content to be more active on their apps and get do direct deals. It's really getting wild as you start to think about this real long term. Is like we're sort of the high mentality of for these broader brands are taking care of different creators as we all get more affiliate deals ramped up, and this is really becomes a place where with AI and white collar jobs going away, that this really could be the creator economy could be much bigger than we think, as these larger brands like even Amazon, they need this type of content to break through and to increase revenue at scale. So amazing time. If you haven't, as a creator, I have as well, at least get on the wait list, sign up for Amazon's creator program. You should right away, so you can get there and start getting paid to make content for them. So we've talked a ton about Meta and Instagram in this update with all the things that they're doing with the e-commerce through checkout and UGC, which I think are great updates. I just want to give you a status of the business that came out, their Q1 sort of annual report. Revenue was up in Q1. You're actually seeing usage, even in the United States, back up. And what they're attributing that to is, again, AI recommended posts, more like that sort of TikTok For You page. Discovery engine is what they call it on Facebook. But they're actually seeing that Reels and just showing people more newsfeed content that's more based on their interest and what they deem as getting users to stay on the platform more. So that's great to see in terms of like looking at it as an advertising channel, that people are spending a bit more time, including the US, which had a nice bump up pretty significantly in daily active users in Q1 of 2023. So again, AI is really helping that. Reels is really helping that. The negative, I guess, is that while revenue and ad spend, I think about 28 billion in Q1, they're also saying just a net revenues are way down. Let's pull the numbers here real quick. Only because of paying out all the people that they fired. They had to pay all the severance packages and things like that they're dealing with. And then VR continues to weigh the brand down. It's not making much money. I think they lost 3.9 billion on Reality Labs. It's still way too early for the metaverse, and we all know that. They're still continuing to invest in it, but it does seem like they're slowly starting to maybe pivot to more AI is the future of Facebook, and you're seeing sort of Zuck start to talk about that stuff, and really the channel focused on AI and recommendations and ads. So the big hope at Meta is Advantage Plus seems to be doing really well. So if you don't know what Advantage Plus is, it's basically the new way that you buy. So almost like a different algorithm for the way that you set up campaigns, and specifically anything e-commerce or like anything that checks out for income. You run these broad campaigns, almost no targeting. You really just kind of let the machine find it based on your advertising people that are in market. This leans on CAPI, this leans on the pixel, this leans on creative, this leans on that they know who your audience is better than media buyers do in terms of hacking at the system. And really where a lot of, I feel like the thought leaders are going is that broader, and then learning that creative is less about A/B testing and more about starting off as dynamic, find learnings, and then you find pockets of creative that sort of almost like many mini TV commercials. You have this general broad audience, and you're thinking of different niches within that audience. You want to reach young kids 20 to 40, maybe like Uber drivers and college athletes, and just young kids with families and just single and fun. That different creative is actually doing the targeting better than anything you can do with the ad sets nowadays. So Advantage Plus really helping. The shift to AI is just a big general hope that they can keep people on the platform stickier with better content that's relevant to them. Reels, again, being a big part of that. So a lot going on at Meta. It does feel like you're at this weird point, even with TikTok, where I'm feeling myself on Instagram and Facebook a little bit more. I think the other negative is you're not seeing as much family and friends content. Who knows how that will play out over time. You got to work a little bit harder for it. I do like those, seeing my friends and family updates. And one note in this article, again, from the Q1 earnings report, is that Meta mentioned they're going to be doubling the amount of AI recommendations in users' feed. So it does seem like we're training really the social networks to pivot is we like things based on what we're interested in and less about family and friends. And maybe that will change over time, but basically TikTok has pivoted almost all the networks, including YouTube and Pinterest, and all the new stuff is to bring new stuff, new information, gateway drug type of content to us so we can stay on a platform that feels more entertaining or educational. Google plans to make search more visual and specific to the users as they integrate with AI and video clips. This is a direct look at the competition that's been rising the last few years. If you aren't paying attention and you haven't been reading the news, AI and a lot of things are now starting to feel like they're chipping away, and this is a big moment for Google to really switch and pivot what they're doing. I think it's going to be changing the entire way that we even buy search media in probably the next 3 to 5 years. If you think about what's been going on, it's two things. The youth are now moving away from Google and into things like TikTok to find more visual, faster, accurate information to them, and something that's more digestible and bite-sized and brings it to life. So you probably have seen the stat that has been saying TikTok is Gen Z's #1 search engine, and that's similar to Facebook and all the older sort of Internet 2.0 companies having to figure out how to pivot in this new day and age with new competition and a whole new generation being raised on the internet and social media apps. So the big differences are, I think, speed of information, how people consume. I think there's a stat a long time ago that I've used in printed presentation decks, is that people would rather watch a video than read a long-winded article, which is what is based on Google. And while they'll still have relevance of finding websites, but we're in this day and age when people want the information, they want it fast, and why TikTok has been so successful, it's really the gateway drug for longer form content. People can quickly, 15 to 60 seconds, digest a piece of information. Maybe it's a quick how-to video or a quick, this is how you do it, or a quick window into a restaurant, and then they can make a decision if they want to go down the rabbit hole a little bit further. The next rise is really AI, right? So we've all been hearing about it. It's now here. It's now a reality of probably the next 3 to 5 years is going to be like the beginning of social, when sort of AI comes into the landscape. So big things here is Google saying that what they're noticing is when you search for your first question, Google's going to have to be prompting you to find more information, and that could be within those prompts they'll be giving you videos or how-to or more short sort of swipe up information so you can kind of get deeper into the answer that you want. They're noticing that people are trying to go much deeper than just the first search now, and that's where ChatGPT and things like that are really relevant. You can kind of go into the world, you can have the chatbot do things for you. Eventually I think this will move to Tony Stark, and you talk to the chatbot helps you create and get information in real time, and you just kind of work, and it's like a second brain. So I think this is all going to the Matrix days when we'll really just, the chips are inserted into our brain and we can really consume and download information as fast as possible to get to that next level in life. So the big shift, just reiterating here, is Google shifting the search to feel more conversational through AI, using more short form video with specific prompts, and also weaving in social media posts to find accuracy. So a lot going on. It's a huge shift. Google could look completely different the next 3 to 5 years. This is a big pivotal moment for them, and you can find more on this article in the Wall Street Journal, and there's plenty of other places talking about it. Well, even more bad news for Twitter and Elon Musk, as Jack Dorsey, former guy who founded Twitter, his app BlueSky, which is basically a Twitter alternative that he had sort of started up in 2019, is now sort of making a comeback. I think it's got like 1 million people plus on its wait list, 60,000 people in its beta, which is an invite-only social media app that has grown to 60,000 users, and has a wait list with me as one of them is 1.2 million people. And it's not going to have any heads of state on it. It will have people. It does have like AOC, CNN's anchor Jack Tapper. Again, it's just a beta phase right now, but it's probably going to roll out. I think people are just continuing to smell blood in the water with Twitter. You have Mastodon, you have Facebook saying they might launch out a Twitter competitor. A lot going on. While I think Twitter is actually not doing anything, I mean, they've been making a lot of crazy bad maybe PR because people just have seemed to turn on Elon. But the app itself is still doing great. Still, I think has its root in owning the culture of news and things that happen immediately. There's again another mass shooting. You're jumping to Twitter to really get that information versus anywhere else in real time. I think people check it as like the broader cultural what's going on of the day. But there's blood in the water, and again, BlueSky maybe with Jack Dorsey, the guy who sort of has a little bit of the polar, could probably be the counter to Elon in the news in terms of having a big name to push an app. This could be interesting. It does just seem like a again, nothing super. Just I think major to say is like they just won't include head of states. I think that's to keep the politics off of it, the toxicness. So maybe that's its initial step to do that. So just looking at the news here, let's see. So just again, decision will exclude national presidents and other leaders, even temporarily, is an interesting move. The things that it's saying it's going to be is two major interconnected technologies. It's a user-facing app that closely resembles Twitter's look and feel, and then underlying protocol that will serve as an open source framework, allowing other developers to construct their own social apps on top of it. So, super wild. Again, what the F social media? It's just a crazy day and age. Nothing feels sort of solidified or tried and true anymore. You sort of have to keep reinventing the wheel to stay ahead of this stuff for brands. I think some brands are really just anti-Elon in general, headline reading and just staying off the platform, pulling ad spend back. It has made, according to Gary Vee, and I've even tested some ads, some very underpriced attention in terms of advertisement, but only if you're specifically looking for certain audiences. It isn't for everyone. It isn't like a big, lower funnel channel. It's more of that upper funnel. You get your message out at a cheaper version. So a lot going on. Again, this is this week's social media today. Social media. So a lot going on again in this week in social media. I can't keep up. I'm trying to get you guys as informed and give you everything that I'm paying attention to in space. If you like this, please like and subscribe. I'm dropping shorts and content out every week. You can follow me on other social media accounts. I do a lot of other things as I have a musical background, obviously educational in terms of this stuff. And I like to do like fun skits and stuff like that too. It's just, I like social in general. I like to experiment and have multiple sides of my personality. But I hope you're enjoying this. Again, if you want to get on the wait list for my creator all in the super PDF, that's going to have all the tips and tricks on how to monetize your creator accounts and how to make UGC and get paid for it, including stuff like we talked about today. Please jump on that wait list and we'll talk soon. Later.